Okay, think about this for a second. Imagine having absolutely everything you could ever want, wealth beyond belief, but feeling this deep sadness inside. Now, flip that. Picture someone living a really simple life, maybe working with their hands, just getting by, but they're filled with this incredible sense of peace. How does that even happen?
It's a powerful paradox, isn't it? And
Mhm.
it really gets to the heart of what we think happiness is all about.
Exactly. And today, we're going to dig right into that. We're exploring this idea through some really compelling parts of the story called The Carpenter, the Heiress, and the Pursuit of True Peace.
Yeah, this isn't just a story. It feels like a lens, a way to look at what truly matters.
Our mission really is to journey into this tale. It's set in this quiet little American town, Willow Creek. And we want to pull out some powerful insights, maybe some surprising ones about, wealth, peace, purpose, especially when things get tough.
And you'll see how what's on the outside often hides a very different inner reality, and how connections, sometimes the most unlikely ones, can change everything.
So let's set the scene. Right away, we meet Ethan. He's about 30, a carpenter in Willow Creek. Pretty straightforward guy.
And his real treasures, the story says, aren't things. They're his honesty, his faith. He seems genuinely content in his little workshop.
Yeah, loves his work, you can tell. He apparently starts his day saying, "Thank you, Lord," finds peace in that simplicity.
And then you have Ashley. She's younger, maybe 22.
Yeah.
Only daughter of this super wealthy businessman, Mr. Franklin Miller.
Total opposite world, right? Great
Mhm.
mansion, designer everything, fancy cars, you name it.
But there's something off. The story mentions this strange sadness about her and emptiness in her eyes, even when she smiles, these sort of extensive smiles.
Yeah, the townsfolk notice it too. They wonder, why someone with so much looks so unhappy.
Okay, let's unpack this. That stark contrast right from the start. We have Ethan finding deep peace in simplicity and purpose, and Ashley with seemingly everything, yet carrying this profound sadness. It immediately challenges our assumptions, doesn't it?
It really does. You expect wealth to equal happiness, but boom, the story says not so fast.
What's fascinating here is how quickly the story establishes that outward circumstances don't necessarily dictate one's inner state.
Right.
This raises an important question. What is true peace if it's not found in wealth and luxury? Where does it actually come from?
And Ethan's perspective on this is key. He often passes the mansion, sees Ashley.
Yeah, he notices things. He sees her sitting alone or rushing by, and specifically notes the void in her eyes that most people missed. Her incomplete smiles really get to him.
It haunts him, yeah. And he's genuinely puzzled. Why isn't all that money enough? He thinks about the peace he has, the peace God gives him.
And he doesn't judge her or envy her. He actually prays for her, quietly hopes God will ease her pain.
He has this conviction, doesn't he, that true wealth isn't money. It's peace of mind, strong faith, God's grace.
Here's where it gets really interesting. Ethan, who seemingly has so little by worldly standards, isn't envious. He's genuinely concerned, even praying for someone so far removed from his world. It's a remarkable display of humanity.
Absolutely. It cuts right through social barriers.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it highlights how empathy and genuine human connection can transcend vast societal barriers. Ethan sees past the opulence to the suffering individual, which many others, maybe even the townsfolk, were overlooking.
They see the mansion, he sees the person inside.
Exactly. And then the atmosphere starts to change. Things get darker around the mansion.
Yeah, the story mentions this strange unease. Ashley becomes even more withdrawn, locks herself in her room, paces the garden at night.
You start seeing the physical toll, too. Dark circles under her eyes, her beauty fading, replaced by a constant look of fear and worry. You even hear shouts from inside sometimes.
And Ethan, being Ethan, notices more details. He sees her standing on the rooftop at night, looking really tense. He even spots her SUV being followed by a shadowy car.
Ooh, that's ominous.
Definitely feels like the danger is escalating. It's not just internal sadness anymore.
And then we learn her father, Mr. Miller, hasn't even been home in months. So Ashley is basically utterly alone in this huge, scary situation.
Wow, that isolation must be terrifying. Her restlessness, the fear. The story says it's eating her from inside.
So what does this all mean? The story quickly moves from general sadness to a palpable sense of danger and isolation. Ashley's world, once glittering, is now truly shrouded in gloom.
Yeah, that shine is definitely gone.
This raises an important question about the unseen burdens that can accompany immense wealth, particularly when it's built on a shaky foundation, maybe unethical dealings. and how that isolation can become a critical vulnerability. The money can't protect her from this.
It almost makes her more of a target.
Precisely. And then one night the storm breaks.
Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, a big storm hits Willow Creek. And during the storm, a scream comes from the mansion, piercing. Ethan hears it. His heart races. And his faith isn't just passive anymore. It kicks in. He feels like God would hold him accountable if he just ignored it.
So he runs towards the danger.
He does. He gets to the gates and finds these aggressive men arguing with the guards. They're demanding documents.
The documents.
And Ashley's voice cries out from inside, refusing. They're my father's trust. Then they hear a slap.
Oh, no.
It's awful. And Ethan, remember, he's just one guy, alone and powerless in that sense. But he shouts anyway, "You villains, remember God! Stop hurting that poor girl!"
Oh, that takes guts. Real courage.
And they threaten him, of course. Some shadowy figure tells him, basically, "Old man, stay away or we'll kill you." But Ethan just prays.
He doesn't back down. That night must have been intense for him.
He barely sleeps, just prays fervently for Ashley's safety. He gets this feeling, this strong sense that God might use him to help her, like he'd been chosen for this trial.
Like this is his moment, in a way.
By morning, something shifted in him. He feels stronger, determined. He senses Ashley needs him, and God has entrusted him with this. The story describes him beautifully here as a spirit that mended not only wood, but broken hearts.
Okay, let's unpack this. This is a pivotal moment where Ethan transcends his simple carpenter role. His faith isn't passive. It's an active driving force that pushes him into extreme danger. It's not just belief, it's action.
Absolutely. He puts everything on the line based on that faith.
What's fascinating here is how the narrative flips the conventional idea of strength. Ethan's pure heart and courage are presented as stronger than any worldly power, challenging our assumptions about who holds true influence. It's not the guys with the threats, it's Ethan with his conviction.
And his gut feeling was right. The very next day, he gets a call.
Let me guess, from the mansion.
Yep. The manager asks him to come over for an urgent carpentry job. Ethan knows. This is it.
So he goes inside for the first time.
Steps into this lavish place, but it feels gloomy, right?
Mm.
And he sees Ashley. Pale, terrified, just like he'd sensed.
In the carpentry job.
She needs him to build a secret compartment right into a wall. Has to be totally hidden and strong.
To hide the documents, presumably.
Exactly. She has this briefcase full of papers she calls priceless and dangerous. She tells him they could destroy her father's business, reputation, and maybe his life. They expose shady deals and illegal transactions.
Wow. So the father's wealth really was built on shaky ground.
Seems like it. And she needs it done today. In absolute secrecy. She says, "This is my life. The pressure is immense."
And what does Ethan do? Just build it.
Well, he works, but he also talks to her. He offers comfort, simple, profound words. Troubles are part of life, but God never abandons his children. We pray and have patience.
For someone like Ashley, who probably grew up valuing power and money,
Mm-hmm.
hearing that must have been jarring, but maybe comforting too.
Deeply comforting, it seems. She's amazed because she realizes he wants nothing from her. He's helping out of humanity. It's a connection unlike any she's known.
Here's where it gets really interesting. The act of carpentry becomes this sort of spiritual and emotional exchange. Ethan's simple words cut through years of conditioning, planting a seed of truth in Ashley's heart.
A seed of a different way of looking at the world.
If we connect this to the bigger picture,
Mm-hmm.
it highlights the profound impact of genuine, selfless connection. Ethan offers something far more valuable than a hidden compartment. He offers hope and a different worldview. He offers, maybe, a path to that peace she lacks.
And Ashley opens up more. She confides, "Dad made his fortune, maybe the wrong way. Now I'm paying for it." She admits her dad's been missing for months, maybe captured, or worse.
That's a heavy burden for her to carry alone.
Ethan listens. Then he puts down his hammer and says something really wise. "I understand your pain, but God's justice comes. You shouldn't suffer his sins. Stand with truth. God's help is in honesty."
Wow. He's telling her to choose truth, even with the consequences.
Yeah.
That's powerful counsel.
It really resonates with her. By evening, the compartment is done. Flawless and visible, sturdy. Ashley puts the briefcase inside. She feels some relief, but the fear is still there.
Understandable.
Ethan reassures her. "By God's grace, you're safe." And then Ashley does something remarkable.
What's that?
She asks him to stay. "Ethan, can you stay tonight? I'm scared. Your presence gives me strength."
That says everything about the trust he's built. He, This simple carpenter has become her rock.
He agrees, even though he's probably uncomfortable in all that luxury. But he stays.
And of course, the night isn't quiet.
Not at all. Around 2 a.m., bam, pounding at the gates again. Armed men get inside. They're shouting for Ashley, for the documents.
We find out who they are.
Yeah, the story confirms they're her father's shady business associates seeking vengeance. Gunfire erupts, chaos.
And Ethan.
He reacts instantly, tells Ashley to lock her door. Then, armed only with his saw and chisel his tools, he rushes out to face them.
Just with his tools. Against armed men.
Unbelievable, right? But he uses his knowledge of wood, of building. He starts strategically messing with them, topples heavy furniture, messes with old wiring so the lights flicker.
Clever, using the house against them.
Exactly. He locks doors behind them, barricades Ashley's door with wood scraps he finds. He even manages to graze one of the thugs with his saw. It's sheer ingenuity born from his trade.
So what does this all mean? Ethan, the poor carpenter, becomes an unlikely warrior. His ingenuity and unwavering faith in God allow him to stand against overwhelming odds. Physically outmatched, but spiritually powerful. He's literally using the tools of his peaceful trade for defense.
It's incredible. And he knows time is running out. He makes this prayer a real moment of sacrifice. God, take my life, but save this innocent girl.
Wow, complete selflessness.
Then he calls out to the leader, asks what they want, tells them to fear God, just as the leader lunges at him.
Don't tell me.
Police sirens. The townsfolk heard the shots and called for help. The thugs panic, try to flee.
Talk about timely rescue. Divine intervention, maybe? Or just good neighbors?
Maybe both. But Ethan's courage bought that crucial time.
This raises an important question about the true source of courage. It's not about being fearless, right? It's about acting despite fear, driven by a higher purpose and a willingness to sacrifice for others. Ethan embodies that.
Absolutely. His faith wasn't just internal, it manifested as incredible bravery.
So the immediate danger passes. Police arrive, arrest some of the thugs.
Ethan explains everything. And Ashley, she finds her voice too. She tells her story, reveals the documents in the hidden compartment, and makes sure everyone knows how heroic Ethan was.
That's a big step for her, choosing truth like Ethan advised.
Huge. And the documents, they blow everything wide open. Mr. Miller's massive fraud, illegal schemes, everything comes out.
What happens to him?
They find him. Turns out he was being held captive by those same associates in another city. He's rescued, but then immediately arrested, faces trial.
So, justice, in a way. But what about Ashley? Her whole world just collapsed.
Completely shattered. Father jailed, business seized by the government, mansions sold off, all the ill-gotten gains are gone. She loses literally everything material. Her fancy friends vanish overnight.
That sounds devastating. Back to square one, or maybe even worse.
Okay, let's unpack this. This is the ultimate aha moment. Ashley, who started with everything, finds true peace only after losing it all and embracing a life of truth and service. Her transformation is profound.
So in her poverty, she finds contentment.
Exactly what the story says. Wealth had left her sad. Now, simplicity brought contentment. Her eyes sparkle now. Her smiles are real. They reach her soul.
That's incredible. What does she do?
She stays in Willow Creek, starts teaching local kids, finds joy in hearts, not bank accounts. And she learns from Ethan about faith, scripture, starts praying nightly, finding genuine spiritual peace.
What's fascinating here is how the narrative completely redefines wealth. It moves from material accumulation to spiritual richness, inner peace, and the ability to contribute to the well-being of others. Ashley's journey is a complete inversion of typical success stories.
And Ethan, does he change?
Nope. Ethan goes back to his workshop. Still the same old carpenter, serving people, fixing wood, praising God. Maybe even more respected now, but fundamentally unchanged.
His face lights up with true joy when Ashley visits, the story says. Their connection remains.
It's a powerful testament to his own unwavering foundation. His peace wasn't dependent on external events, heroic or otherwise.
So this deep dive, it really shows us, doesn't it? Wealth, fame, they just can't guarantee peace or happiness on their own.
Not at all. It suggests that real joy, lasting purpose, strength, they come from something deeper, from faith, living honestly, serving others.
And having the courage to stand for what's right, even when it costs you. Like, it cost Ashley everything material, but gave her something invaluable.
The story of Ethan and Ashley really illustrates how sometimes losing everything we think we need can actually be the path to finding what truly matters. A total paradigm shift.
So it makes you think, doesn't it? Consider what you define as wealth and success in your own life. Are your values tied up in things that, could disappear tomorrow?
Or are they rooted in inner qualities?
Mm-hmm.
Things like integrity, compassion, resilience, things that might actually grow stronger when tested by adversity, like we saw with Ashley.
Yeah. And maybe here's a final thought to chew on.
Okay.
What would your life look like if your definition of rich shifted? Shifted away from just what you have towards the peace you cultivate inside, the truth you try to live by, and how you contribute, how you serve others.
What does your inner poverty or maybe your inner wealth truly reveal? It's something worth exploring.